guys, we just jumped on board an airplane to go get the truck tuned today. We're going to do an Aisin transmission tune in Edmonton, Alberta, so I got up super early and jumped on a flight. Gonna head to Calgary. My daughter's going to pick me up and we'll pick it up from there. Okay guys, we just arrived in Calgary. Kenzie's almost here to pick me up. As soon as she gets here, we'll give you a preview. We'll show you the truck. We'll do a little bit of videoing of how the transmission shifts stock, and then we'll have a good base to compare it against after we get the transmission tuned. Okay guys, part of the thing we wanted to do here is try to make the truck shift a little bit more naturally, normally, particularly since we have so big a tires on it. It tends to short shift, and then when it shifts, it's nowhere near the proper power. It's boggy, it's confused, and it really feels sluggish and clumsy to drive. So after doing a little bit of research, we found out that these trans tunes have been around for over a year now, and they're doing a really good job of fixing all of those problems. Okay, here we are. Arrived at Diesler. She's gonna get her trans tune. Coaldale, Alberta. This is Diesel the dog. Okay, we're just in their shop now. They've been kind enough to let me do a little bit of videoing in here just to capture a little bit about the process and how simple it is. Do you find that these are fairly successful with all different kinds of tunes, or?
Like the trans tune?
Yeah, the trans tune, yeah. Okay guys, we lost the audio there as my phone connected to the truck when he turned it on, but basically what he's saying here is that he's got a 2018 himself, and he's done a ton of these tunes on various Rams, both from the Gen 4 and the Gen 5 trucks. And in all cases, guys are much happier with how the truck drives, particularly how it doesn't fall flat on its face. It doesn't get confused in the up and down shift, particularly in traffic. The shifts are far more positive. They suspect it is even going to help the longevity of the transmission. His only piece of advice is that if I was going to spend some big money here, is that I would just upgrade the valve body in the Aisin, because they find that the valve body is a source of problems for this particular transmission, to get rid of the flare shift, and also to get the defuel and the through neutral to a next gear shift as smooth as possible, which can't really be achieved with the stock Aisin valve body. So what he's going on here explaining, and I'm sorry that I didn't capture this audio, is that very fact that I've just explained. So anyway, we'll get on with the rest of the video. Being loaded right now, and it's about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you book your truck in here for a morning, just go get a coffee, come back, and it'll be ready for you. It's a pretty simple and easy service. And I'm assuming that this kind of a thing is going to preserve the transmission as well too. Like it'll protect it against premature wear with a more positive shift. Is that right? Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so 27 minutes after I got here, I am done. My transmission is tuned. I've got my receipt with tax, with just over $700 Canadian, and the staff was absolutely fantastic here. So if you're thinking about doing this for your vehicle, getting a trans tune for your Aisin, this is the place to go. Diesler in Coaldale, Alberta. So my first impression of the trans tune is that it is very effective in a positive way. It's holding the gear a little bit longer before it shifts, which seems to make the shift a little bit quicker. I think that's probably because it builds a little bit more line pressure. My initial impression is very, very good. So I'm going to basically just accelerate here. Oh yeah, it's way more positive. The shifting is way more positive. Almost no flare at all. So I'll be careful here because there's a police officer, but what a difference right out of the gate. Very cool. So we'll let the transmission to continue to learn its new shift points. They said 200 to 300K of driving, particularly in town driving when you're on and off the throttle and this thing is going to shift a lot. It'll start to learn, shift a little smoother, figure things out a little bit better. So all in all, for a guy who left Fort Langley this morning, drove to Abbotsford, flew to Calgary, drove from Calgary to Lethbridge, just east of the Lethbridge, to a place called Coaldale, in and out of the shop in 27 minutes. I'm a happy guy.